HUM115, welcome to Module 2 of our course. Last week, we jumped into our course as we oriented ourselves, and we talked about where we are starting this course at in terms of our understandings and our definitions and how we perceive critical thinking in our own life. We reminded each other of the power of good questioning, and we began to think about how critical thinking needs to infiltrate into our everyday lives, whether that be personally, professionally, or academically. And as we walk through this class together, we're going to continue to think about the application of critical thinking in these spaces. As we jump into this week's learning content, we're going to explore a standard definition of critical thinking that we can all agree on, and moving forward, use it as an assumption to build upon. I want to make sure that as you jump in this week, you take some extra time to really focus on vocabulary words exposed in this module that you might not be familiar with, or maybe you've never paused to define well yourself. Make sure that you understand what we're talking about when we use words like metacognition, for example. Also, I want you to really stop and process what critical thinking is all about. We learned in Module 1 that there is no one right definition, but we can all agree that critical thinking is indeed a thought process. It's a thought process where we're going to need to examine evidence or assumptions, inferences, different text in different context, different information sources, and we're going to need to arrive at a logical conclusion. In Module 2, we're also going to explore the traits of a strong critical thinker. I want you to remember that critical thinking involves a level of self-awareness. We explored this a bit in Module 1. This is called metacognition. This means that you can actually think about your own thinking, but with the goal to improve it. Critical thinking involves analyzing and evaluating, interpreting, sometimes even inferring. These are all higher order thinking skills. Critical thinking involves asking those good questions, as we explored in Module 1, but it also involves being able to find reasonable answers that are logical and grounded in truth and fact. Critical thinking can be purposeful, it can be deliberate, it should always be organized. We need to create frameworks to think from in order to achieve this. Critical thinkers are always going to possess certain cognitive and metacognitive skills, but they also should be ethical and fair, empathetic even. We need to be persistent, and we need to be methodical about how we go sorting through troublesome topics that require us to view things from multiple perspectives and through multiple lenses. I'm excited to see what you think about this module as we jump into some heavier content. I want to remind you that as you work through the information in this module, if you have any trouble at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. I am here to support your learning and your success in this course, and I am happy to walk with you in any way I can. I look forward to seeing what all of you bring to the table this week.